Using the if function, Excel can make calculation decisions for you based upon the value of a cell. Sometimes that answer has many variables. A nested if function calculates a cell based upon different values. Using Excel's insert function feature, you don't have to worry about typing the formulas on your own. In this example, we're going to calculate a salesperson's bonus based on their monthly sales. Here are the conditions for receiving a bonus. 1. To get a bonus at all, the person's quarter one sales needs to be greater than their quota. Condition 2. If the difference between their quarter one sales and their quota is more than $1,000, they get a bonus of 20% of the difference. Condition 3. If the difference between their quarter one sales and their quota is between $1 and $1,000, they get a bonus of 10% of the difference. So the first thing I'm going to do is select a cell to hold the function. So I'm going to click on cell G8. Next, I'm going to click on the Insert Function button. Now that I've clicked on the insert function, I need to select the if function. I'm going to click OK, and it's going to show us the 3 different arguments to the if. The first thing I have is what's called the logical test. So basically, I want the difference between our quarter one sales and the quota to be greater than $1,000. So in parentheses, I'm going to type in E8 minus F8, and then it has to be greater than 1,000. Then I have to tell it what to do if this statement is actually true. If it's true, I'm going to take that difference, so in parentheses, I'm going to type in E8 minus F8, and I'm going to multiply that by 20%. Let's click in the value if false. Now, there's more than one condition that I need to look at, so I'm going to bring up a new if statement function argument. So I'm going to go up to what used to be the name box, and now it says if. If I click on the if, it gives me new function arguments. So now what I'm going to do is set up a second logical test. This time I'm looking for the difference between E8 and F8 to be greater than 0. This is going to find the people that have the difference that's in between 0 and 1,000. Next, I'm going to click on the value if true. And once again, I'm going to take the difference between E8 minus F8 and multiply it by 10%. The last thing I need to do is show if a person doesn't make their quota at all, they don't get anything. So I'm going to type a 0 in the value if false. Now when I click OK, it shows this first person is going to receive nothing. And if you look, that's because their quarter one sales was less than their quota. But if I click on the autofill handle and drag down, the other people are calculated separately. And depending upon the amount of the difference between their quarter one sales and their quota, they're receiving either the 20% or the 10% bonus.